Morecambe, of course.
Welcome back to Walsall Fan TV. The joy, the pain. Oh, all good. Glad to have you with us. Yes, Morecambe are still in with a chance of automatic promotion, and they're equally also at risk of dropping out the playoffs. So they'll be certainly 100% on it. And as we've seen in the comments, Walsall's focus is on winning contracts. That's what Walsall guys are looking for. Some of them have signed up already. But hopefully it's not one of those on-the-beach rollover performances. We certainly hope not. Brian Dutton looks like he's not going to be the guy for next season. But it'd be nice to get a couple of wins to end his tenure, that word he likes, on a positive note. Right then. Right, Stephen. Welcome back. He was away on DV last week. How are you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Are we going to do the knee thing again? Yeah, they're still doing the knee. There's a bit of a media blackout for sort of bullying on social media, so we'll have no bad comments, nothing too critical today. Right then, we're up and running. That's out of play. Walsall throw. So, team unchanged. It's unheard of. Unchanged after a win is even more unheard of. Darryl Clark insisted on changing the team regardless, and it's nice to have a more settled team, which I think, as most people know, that helps the team to gel. Osadibi on the ball. Joshy. Be nice to. Oh, that's a poor pass. He's lost that. Oh, throwing Walsall. Josh Gordon. Be good for him to get another goal. Thanks for those. Thanks for everybody joining us. Walsall Fan TV.
Holden's still injured.
Yeah, Holden's still injured. So yeah.
That is by 2 games.
Team news. Jack Rose stays in goal. He's signed up for next season. Hayden White, Dan Scarr, and James Clark, and Max Melbourne. Oh, that's a cross-come shot from Hayden White, just flicked over the top of the bar. I don't know what he was thinking there. He was definitely looking to cross it, but it went too near the goalie and nearly went in, really. In the midfield, same again. We've got Osadibi, Kinsella and Perry. Up front, Wes McDonald suddenly has been picked again. Tyree Wright and Josh Gordon finish our front line.
Osadibi with the outswinger towards the far post, but it's headed away. Wright tries to.
Is he going to go? Oh no, he's McAlinden. It's not very often in League 2 that you recognise the names of the opposition, and they've got Stockton and McAlinden, so that's 2 players to watch out for.
Oh, that's big down.
No, if you don't know. No. So, what do you reckon? Think Brian Dutton should stay, or do you think? Looks like he's like to be. Oh, nicely collected by Rose from the corner. Nice, easy one. I got the old vodka and Pepsi. More joyous rather than stress today. What we'll be having come out, we talked last week. We talked last week, didn't we? Thanks, like your channel. John Boy, Drink Money, he's a Scunny fan, he's joining us. So good to have you with us, John Boy. Yeah, we talked last week about the Walsall Awards. So probably sometime tomorrow, I'll be putting the voting poll on Twitter for all of our questions. And one of our followers, Ben, he's put a goal of the season collection together for us, so that'll be coming out as well to help us pick goal of the season. So thanks to Ben for that.
Walsall throw.
3 minutes in, Walsall looking quite bright.
0-0 as Melbourne, Sadler's left back, takes the throw. Perry, young man with a big future ahead of him, finds Scott, hoisted high towards the edge of the Morecambe penalty area.
Another Walsall throw, I think. So, who's playing for a contract in this then? It looks like Max Melbourne.
Where's this? Because otherwise he wouldn't have started.
Yeah. Well, Melbourne's playing for a contract. So is Dan Scarr. Clark, he'll be playing for a contract as well. In the midfield, they're all signed up. Tyreek Wright, I think he's destined for elsewhere. Josh Gordon and, as Stephen says, Wes. But oh, we can get the ball out of Wright.
Back, and then it's a handball by Hayden.
I wish somebody'd tell me why Wes has not played for all this time. Yeah, he's only played since February, I think. Newport, one up at Cheltenham. Bit of chocolate. Advert product placement on it. Yeah, Galaxy sponsor. We are looking for a sponsor for next season. So if you're associated with a local business, we'd like some exposure. You see in the top right hand corner, we've got powered by StreamYard. That's the software we're using. We're going to replace that next season with our sponsor, our lead sponsor. Whoever that will be, we don't know yet.
Tyreek Wright and Wes McDonald either side of Josh Gordon. And
Pepsi, yeah, maybe Pepsi. Thanks for the season. It's all right, Nige. Had fun doing it, mate. I've actually put myself forward for running the Walsall media team because we had a video out from Walsall official YouTube channel interviewing Brian Dutton before today's game, and the video was awful. During the video, you've got a Hoover on in the background, and then he asked him one question, and he was struggling for a word for it. And the guy just left him hanging. The interviewer just left him hanging. Like, has he not thought about perhaps editing that bit out to sort of spare Brian Dutton's blushes? Oh. So, regardless of what anybody thinks of Brian Dutton, I think editing your errors out of an interview is basics. So I'll put a comment on there saying, yeah, if you can't do it properly, I'll do it. We're back at the Banksies next season. I think so, Nige.
Yeah, well, fans are allowed.
Are you doing away games? What we're planning to do next season, presuming we're all back, we'll do a match preview. We'll do a bit of a match day experience vlog with the match reactions. And then for away matches, we'll do similar to this. So a live stream watch along for away games. That's the plan.
The pass was stray from Morecambe, and so too that ball from Hayden White, although Josh Gordon slipped as he tried to control.
Yes, you two lads deserve an applause and a point. How about that? He's only 15, he can't have a point yet. I'll have to have his. And you'll drive. Hang on, you can't drive. That's it. Yeah. At the start of the season, not have picked Morecambe to go down. They can turn it around. Who knows? Says Paul Dugmore. Quite right. I think Mark Carter, said, and probably lots of others as well, to get out of this league, you just need to be consistent and know your jobs and just be solid. And Walsall have shown of late that they can be solid at the back. Just that little tiny bit of quality up front. And I think we could definitely be challenging for promotion.
Where's the guys lying behind the wall?
They don't do that they don't do that, Walsall. Yeah, free kick.
Where's the guy on the goal?
Free kick to Morecambe. It's about 35 yards out. What's he going to do here? Straight into the wall. How about that PSG Man City? And he went straight through the wall. That's ridiculous. Cambridge surprise, blooming it. They had a shock yesterday. Got beat 5-4 by Harrogate. That was unexpected. Unexpected. Yeah, Walsall, if they could be solid next season, just need some of those quality players in there that can just unlock defences. And Holden's here next season, so if he's back fit, are we meeting up at the Banks? That would be nice, Nige. I'd like to do that.
On BBC Radio WM, and I follow Walsall.
Yes.
Sandler's nil, Morecambe nil.
What then?
Perry to the right.
Perry missed it there. Unlucky. Couple of Walsall players slipping over.
Hendry finds Stockton, nodded down to
Diagaraga did well then, inside the feet.
He's got Hendry available on the overlap. Checks back in field. Price.
Good idea, Nigel. Indeed. Roll down for a goal kick for Walsall. Yeah, we're quite solid defensively at the minute. Their price for Morecambe was looking reasonable. Good on it. At the Fountain Pub in Walsall. I don't know where that is, but I'm sure I could find it.
Watering it, I suppose, is a thing that happens very often before all games, really. You put plenty of water on the pitch, but one or two players seem to have...
just the Walsall players seem to be slipping over.
Yeah, but at the same time, as players, you want the pitch slick, you want water before a game. If it wasn't water at all, I'm sure we'd be complaining that it was dry and sticky. So, yeah, we always find an excuse.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Says Nige.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of a good crew here. It'd be good to get together.
Anyway, Hendry with the Morecambe throw in front of us, headed away by White. Diagaraga wins it on half.
He's so composed, you know, Perry.
Yeah, he is.
He's so calm on the ball.
Up to Wes. Come on, Wes.
Into the Morecambe half, Max Melbourne. Laid off to Wes McDonald.
Wes McDonald advancing down the left.
Makes progress. He's got Osadebe
He's
outside.
trying to get through.
Taking on
Corner ball.
Cooney allows it to drift behind. McDonald's convinced that he's one of
Sam Perry going to be a good player. I think he's a good player already, Nige.
Yeah.
To be honest. Lower Forster Street. I can find that. Carl. We'll sort that out.
Future lies in a couple of games.
Our normal pre-match is McDonald's. And it's chicken legend meal and all that. Yeah, that'd be good.
Don't say, looking at our bench, we have 4 players.
That was just a clear push there. Who's that, Clark?
Our bench is made up of...
It's a crash, the bench.
Literally, 4 of our players, not even like...
No, that's it. We got Bates, Willis, Lee.
Lee, Nolan.
And Nolan, of course, yeah. Mansfield are winning. Mansfield, I thought we were going to go past them, but they've sort of picked up again, haven't they?
Yeah, they always do.
Nice little chip in. Oh, chance here. Whoa, that was a good ball in. Didn't quite get onto it. Wouldn't be at Walsall long. They were at Sam Perry. Well, I'm just hoping they've signed him on a proper contract, like a 3-year contract or something. I think Perry, it's one of those. I think if Walsall don't get promoted next season, Perry will be gone. I think the money will come calling. And if we're not going up, then
in the first place, big moon ball from the side of the field. To
then they'll
Stockton with
pull him away, won't they?
yeah. Outside of his ankle.
And that's quite often the case with Walsall. Get some good quality players, and unless we get him promoted, they all get picked off. Gordon's got a good cross in there, but it's a cross that should be in for Gordon. John Boy, fancy Walsall do well next season. You got a tasty midfield, all under contract. That's correct.
Oh, great. Come on, Kinsella.
Kinsella on the right. Inside right, what's he going to do? Tie it right. 3 guys to go past. He's done it. Oh! He tried to just stab it past the keeper.
Did well. Oh, yes. Got the deflection.
Finish. Oh. Sam Perry will be pouched.
Yeah, 3 guys around. He went past.
It opened up for him. He tried to stab it home, didn't he? Right then.
Yeah, the 4th defence.
Yeah, Sam Perry will be pouched. I think he's just signed a new contract, so I think we're okay for the minute for next season. You're not allowed to criticise players. It's there's a ban on social media abuse. So you say he looks healthy, but a healthy weight, I think, is probably. Oh, Perry battered, got his foot in, and the guy followed through, knocked him to the floor. Look at Ricketts, Fryer, Tenrett, yeah. What? The only chance of keeping Sam Perry is by getting promoted, and he could still go then, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's less likely to, isn't it?
Yeah, but the Walsall way is to bring players through, and sell them on. That's the route, isn't it?
What's Kinsella playing like?
Playing right wing. Foul then by. I don't mind Walsall selling players, but I mean, if we're doing it in League One,
for good,
we get proper money for them. In League Two, you're not going to get good money. Bolton ahead against Exeter. Walsall getting good possession today. Kinsella turned into a winger.
It makes me laugh, when I see Kinsella like pushing forward. I'm like, fam, where the bloody hell this came from?
What's he doing? Well, Kinsella, to be in all fairness, if Kinsella's going to progress as a player, he's got to add stuff to his game. We know he's a good battling CDM, but I mean, he's got to be able to add goals and creativity to his game, or he's not going anywhere, is he? He's not progress. He's got to progress. Torre right, looking a bit more interested today.
Last 2 games of the season, he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to start playing now."
Well, Joshy, didn't quite fall for Josh then in the box. Good to see him in the box for a change. Good passing from Walsall. Oh, that's a great ball from Kinsella there. He didn't quite get White onto the end of it.
As long as Kinsella plays like good balls forward like that, and carries on picking out the pass, it's good. Oh, well done.
Oh, free kick there. Carl's saying don't like this lack of clarity on the manager or new manager. I think they're being respectful to Brian Dutton by not announcing a new manager at the minute. I think he'll talk about lack of clarity for him, but I think it'd upset the apple cart a little bit if they sort of announced that he's going to be leaving at this stage. I think the fact that they haven't said he's staying tells you everything you need to know, I suppose. I think in some respects I wouldn't be too disappointed if Dutton did stay. But I mean, I do like a lot of the stuff he's doing. I just don't think he's got the experience. Get a shot in. That was a good move, that was. Ball into the box. Oh! Walsall throw. Walsall playing well, aren't they?
Come on, Wes.
Right takes the throw.
Wes comes down for the
I beg Wes gets the
Tyree right. Is he coming in? Corner ball. Needs a number 2. Yeah, but the thing is, Carl, who's going to be number 2 to a guy with Brian Dutton's experience?
Matt Sadler.
Matt Sadler, yeah. You're not going to get somebody with managerial experience coming in as assistant
If
to Brian Dutton.
Brian Dutton stays, he knows the team better.
He knows the team, and he's in line with Jamie Fullerton about bringing the youth through, and that's got to be the way for Walsall. We're not going to be able to afford to pay for players, particularly. Maybe might buy one occasionally. Yeah. Good point, what you just said. Yeah. I'll do. Brian Dutton, some of his interviews have been a bit sort of funny and a bit unprofessional, perhaps. But I mean, let's be honest. He has sorted the defence out. We're much more solid at the back since Brian Dutton has been in control. Then the counter argument is, well, was he not the coach before? What was happening then? And I think we discussed that before, didn't we? If he was the coach under Darryl Clark, then what was he doing before? He's got more control now. I mean, but like that was his job before, wasn't it? As a coach. It's a difficult one, I suppose. But I'd like to get Brian Dutton on for an interview at some point. Whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. That's why I'd like to jump. If I jumped onto the Walsall media team, I think I'd be able to provide a more solid interview process. I think I'm a bit more direct in the kind of questions I ask. I know whether they'd like that, though, to be honest. Barrow 1-up against Southend. That's good for Scunny. Scunny went on a terrible run, haven't they? Lost last 5, but I think they're going to be okay.
Right hand side. Field to right. And Melbourne out wide on the left hand side.
Walsall passing it around beautifully. Walsall. It's good. This is really what we want to see, isn't it? We just need to make that good play count, don't we?
I don't want to see Kinsella's goal. He scored 3. I reckon it's probably just the
foul. Oh, we won the foul. Tyree right. Pomnick talks about moral compass. Where's board moral compass if they sacked Dutton, who could have gone to Vale? Yeah, there's a good point there. There's a good point there, Carl. I don't think it would be such a bad thing if Brian Dutton was given the job. But it's the people that pay have their say, as it is. The money flowing into Walsall from season tickets is likely to be better if we had a new experienced manager coming in. I think the anticipation from a new manager coming in may sell more season tickets. Oh, Scar. It's a great cross in. Scar just didn't quite. Good cross from Osadibi behind the back 4. Scar just needed to get his foot on the end of that. That was great ball for Osadibi.
Tyree right to take this corner. It was a terrific cross, wasn't it?
I am starting to correct myself a little bit. Osadibi is definitely getting better, isn't he? He's definitely. I'll keep Dutton as coach and bring someone in like Mark Cooper. Steve, that's spot on. Oh, good crossing. Oh. It's all Walsall at the minute. Tyree right on the left-hand side. Where's McDonald?
Where's McDonald? McDonald takes
Corner ball.
gets the cross initially.
See, this is the words I like.
Clark was the experienced manager.
You're on top of the game.
Yeah.
James, an obvious thing to say.
Yeah, I think Clark was the experienced manager we wanted to bring in, but it just didn't work out for whatever reason. Keeping Dutton as coach, bringing someone in like Mark Cooper, who could learn off. I think he's a good call. I think Mark Cooper as well is a very good shout. I think we've mentioned him on here before. So, somebody like him. And then keep Dutton in the club. I think it'd be nice to keep him in the club. As Lee Pomlick says, he didn't want to sort of shaft him. It's just a bit of obstruction, but the ref didn't give it. That's the kind of thing you only get if you're in the Premier League, I think.
Stress relieving ball into the Walsall half. And White can
Would Dutton step aside if Mark Cooper came? I don't know. I think he probably would, because he'd have progression, wouldn't it? He's only had the temporary charge, and it would be continued employment and an element of progression. So I think if I was in his shoes, I would take that. Because his only other option would be out of work. Out of work, and then he's looking to try and get into Vale, who've now got a coach. So where's he going to get himself a coaching role? Other than Walsall. We mentioned contracts earlier on. Walsall players who are playing for a contract. If you don't get a contract with a lower League 2 side, you're close to going out of the professional game, aren't you? So that's the thing. People are playing for a contract because this is sort of, if you want a professional contract, there ain't many places to go if you can't make it at Walsall, in fairness. Tyreek Wright didn't quite go past his man there. Perry tidying up again, lovely. Foul. That's another foul on Perry. He's doing well, Perry, though, to be honest. How Walsall playing, says Tom. Tom, they're playing well. You wouldn't think, at the minute, Morecambe were the team in the playoffs. Walsall looking excellent at the minute. The only, as I said on the commentary a short while ago, it's scoring when you're on top is key. And Walsall have been on top, but not scored yet. Not a shot on target either, really, unless you include Tyreek's little stab towards goal.
So League 2 latest, Barrow 1, Southend 0, Bolton 1, Exeter 0, Bradford 0, Scunthorpe 0, as it is between Colchester and Salford and Forest Green and Tranmere.
So yeah, I think so. Brian Dutton as a coach to Mark Cooper or somebody of that ilk would, I think, be a good move for Walsall and for Brian Dutton, I think. Scar, what's he doing here? Safety. Nice. It's like, do you know, sometimes it's like Walsall know what they're doing almost, which is nice. Osadebe, he was blocked out there. That was a free kick, surely.
Should have played it afterwards. And I just wanted to carry the ball through.
Yeah.
He should have played
out press, yeah. Looking at Fullerton's interview, jury's out. He's got more quotes than Dragon's Den series. Well, in Lee Pomlick we trust. He's brought the man in. We'll have to see during the close season what kind of influence he has. I'm expecting some good young players to join the ranks. That's from Fullerton's influence. Yeah, Al-Sadibi, full of sound bites who'd make great salesmen. That's how you succeed at an interview, I suppose, at a job interview. Oh, lovely work there on the left for Morecambe.
They just tripped each other up.
Lovely work on the left, Morecambe. We got this Price again.
I don't know who it was.
He did well then.
But somebody went in for a slide tackle. Then White tripped over him and fell on his arse.
That was a dangerous break, but James Clark, one of the most experienced defenders at the club, using all his experience there just to come across and
yeah, Fullerton is going to be one of those backroom guys, but we'll have to see what kind of influence he has. Morecambe throw in. Goal kick Walsall. Walsall haven't particularly had many chances, but they've had lots of possession. But Morecambe ain't had a sniff at the minute, have they? It'd be nice if we have a good solid finish to the season, sort of climb up a couple of places, it'd be nice. So the history shows that we weren't sort of that close to the trapdoor, even though we know the difference. We know the truth.
One of his 6 goals.
Plenty of time in. Oh, that's a poor giveaway from Morecambe to McDonald on the left-hand side. Got Max behind him. Inside to Joshy. Plays it to White on the right-hand side. Makes me to bound with some confidence, Walsall. Come on, knock it. Oh, he's never going to get there. Won the throw, though.
Hendry thumped it away, but throw into Walsall. On this right-hand side, Kinsella. Still only 25 years of age, but more than 100 appearances in senior football.
That was a weird ball from Tyreek right there.
Moving forward, I think. James, isn't he leading Kinsella now? Yeah, what I can say about kids, I'm saying a team like that. By the time I was here,
Perry, look at him, nice and calm.
First morning through the door, probably because he was here training before everyone else. That sums him up. His attitude. He's a fantastic.
Perry seems like he's on a different speed to everybody else. He just seems to have so much time, doesn't he? It's like the whole world around him slows down so he can think about what he's going to do.
So the opposite of Bates, isn't it?
Opposite of Bates, yeah. Opposite of Kinsella as well, you could say. Kinsella playing more like a winger at the minute. Oh, Tyreek White played the ball in for us to DB, but it's just a bit too long from him. So spinning away from him.
14 minutes to go.
Yeah, 31 minutes gone. 0-0.
Fluorescent yellow to take the Morecambe goal kick, which he does now, right-footed. In the air by Perry. Sent forward by Cooney. Keeper Stockton.
Stockton, he's been fairly quiet so far.
So DB looking for McDonald, who picks it up. That's overhit for Max Melbourne, who's taken up a useful position on the overlap, but McDonald's passed him, given a chance to latch onto it. It's behind for.
Perry reminds me of Mick Bates in the 70s, who played for us always one step ahead. Before my time, that one, Colin. Got to have £20 on Walsall to go up. Nige, you should never bet on Walsall. You should never bet on Walsall. When I bet on football, I quite often bet if Walsall are involved in a bet I'm making, I bet the opposite. So then if Walsall win, I'm happy, and then if they get beat, I'm happy. So it's but I don't often bet on football. It's too unpredictable. Walsall got a player down. It's Hayden White, I think.
Players take some.
Oh no, absolutely. Sorry.
Oh,
it is Hayden White.
0-0. Taking with 1 or 2 other scores. Manchester City, not surprisingly, are now on the verge of winning the Premier League after a 2-0 win at Crystal Palace. Aguero and Ferran Torres scoring for them. Brighton in front against Leeds through.
Brighton. They were close to going down with them, Brighton. Well, it looks like they're going to be safe. Albion are going to be. Albion aren't going to get out of it, are they?
The championship result between Sheffield Wednesday and Nottingham Forest was 0-0, which
Hayden White's had a bit of a bash on his head, I think. But he looks like he's going to be okay.
Starting to think that the club of their stature are going back to the third tier again.
Dave Mackay. I remember Dave Mackay. I don't think he was. I think just from comments rather than actually there. Nigel Martin, was it? Nigel Martin and Alan Buckley were managers when first time I went to 81.
QPR lead at Stoke 1-0. Charlie Austin on loan from Albion scoring yet again for QPR. He's been
Charlie Austin
since moving back to West London. Swansea and Derby's 0-0 and Wycombe lead Bournemouth by the 0-0.
The foul, Walsall ball.
Away again here.
That's Clark's one, another foul. We'd lose that if Clark went. We'd miss that, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Good to have Dan Scarr back. Is Dan Scarr going to have a new contract? What do you think, Stephen?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
We know you're old enough to remember Alan Clark. I'm not old enough to remember Alan Clark. I'm old enough to remember Wayne Clark when he played for Walsall.
Difficult ball, which he couldn't do so. Leather again.
Alan Clark.
And ball forward. Stops trying to help it on, but Clark is there.
Cleared to the halfway line from Clark. 35 minutes gone. Morecambe coming into it a little bit. Walsall had a lot of possession, but it's getting that goal to make that difference, isn't it? And that's sometimes where the problem is. Sometimes where the problem lies.
Travels during this campaign, but still very much in the thick of getting qualified to play.
Now you see, in that situation there, Kerry, he's just been calm under the pressure there. That's where perhaps Alfie Bates would have lost possession, I think. And that's the difference. Went to Sanders in 1969 at one game. Colin Taylor shot me in the face. St John's ambulance told the rest. Yeah, I've heard that before. Colin Taylor, once he hit it, it stayed hit, I think is the term. First match I went to, Kenny Ibbott was in charge. Blew me neck. That was a dodgy time to start supporting Walsall. Kenny Ibbott. That was not a great time. I can remember Mark Gale in goal. He was not a great keeper, was he? Good cross. Oh,
Oh, Kinsella.
Kinsella?
No, what?
Kinsella, the ball come across, Kinsella had run in. It's not very often you see Kinsella 5-6 yards out. Up the Saddlers, says Robbie Crisp. Good one, Robbie. Yeah, Hibbett signed O'Connor. How he did, yeah. What's that?
My first game.
Your first game? I think could have been Portsmouth, I think. In fact, no, it wasn't. I don't know.
What, 2011?
Because
Dean Smith was
I took, Dean Smith. It was under Dean Smith. You had a wee up the wall. We were sort of on down by the manager's bench when you first come, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Before we moved to behind the up in the stand behind the goal, in the upper tier. I was got some buddies that we used to talk to near the halfway line, but they wouldn't let us have a junior season ticket for you. So it was either pay full price for a 10-year-old or move into the
10 in 2011.
In fact, you weren't even that old. Yeah, you weren't even that old.
Right one is 2021 now, 15.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're probably only about 5 or 6, weren't you?
Yeah.
So at 5 or 6, you're not going to pay adult for a season ticket. So that's why we had to move to behind the goal.
Well,
But we do sometimes for cup matches. We
it was that because I didn't come every game that season. But,
no, you came to a few, didn't you? I think you're about 6 or 7. I think when you came.
Games that season.
Come on!
And then I didn't.
Oh, he's missed. Gordon's had a snapshot there.
Yeah, and then I stopped, and then I didn't.
Hayden White did well then, keep going.
And then I didn't come to 2014. 2014.
2014.
Coming back,
Yeah.
2015 was Wembley. Remember that?
Yeah.
Obviously.
2015, yeah.
And then it's just been
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Yeah, 2015. I think you're coming fairly regularly after 2015.
Well, we got one season ticket, didn't we?
The roof always leaked in the cowshed end. That was held at Fellas Park. I used to sit on the manager's bench, on top of the manager's bench, concrete bench. That's where I would sit when David Kelly was playing. That kind of stuff. Gary Pendry. All that kind of jazz. The shed for a Mars.
Breaking forward into the Morecambe half. Touched off to
Having Wes in the team, I can't understand why he would not have been playing. I really want to know why.
Yeah, when he's been on the ball, he's kept the ball and he's doing good.
He keeps the ball, he's a threat.
He's only twice when he's lost possession. And that's because he's tried to go past the man and play a ball.
Yeah, I just can't understand.
Right.
That's not a great header from Hayden White, was it? I always stood in the railway and said, "Cole."
With it. Although Sam Perry, there's a lot of talk about, as saying earlier, a lot of talk about him.
I remember, whether any of the older guys remember when Walsall played Watford in the FA Cup, and they had a band on at half time. Well, I was in that band. That was my old comic days. That was against Watford. I think that's when we got a draw, I think, against Watford, if I remember right. And then we had the replay. Trevor Christie, very 85, 86, perhaps. My son was mascot at Wembley. Oh, nice. Nice one, nice.
Into touch just to our left for the Morecambe. Throw it in the air.
Walsall have absolutely smashed this 0-0 at the minute. Made my day, I bet it did. Saw David Kelly scored in my first game at Fellas Park towards the end of Buckley's second reign. Yeah, David Kelly, he did well for us, David Kelly.
Jack Rose in the end.
Jack Rose collecting. That was a rare foray. Rare bit of action for him to deal with. Yeah, the only concern at the minute is Walsall have not sort of scored after being on top.
This campaign as Harry wins a header inside the centre circle.
Walsall ball, I think.
Away from McDonald and from Lyons. It's going to be a Walsall throw far side, near halfway. It's worked in field for Perry.
Great pass, that is. Great crossfield pass from Perry. Tyree Wright having a go. Oh, it's gone through to the keeper. I don't think you call it a shot though, really. Mark Banks in the house.
It's been the case quite often this season, Jim, particularly in the last few months. It's just that end product that's been lacking.
That end product, that's the essence, isn't it? That's the difference between sort of championship teams and League One, League Two teams, I suppose. It's just when you get a chance in the Championship and the Premier League, they just take the chances, don't they? It's that quality up front, and that's why they earn the money and pay the money, I suppose, for clinical strikers.
Not one in every four. Can we make it one in every three and then one in every two? That's how they become better players. James O'Connor with us. The Scar has possession.
James O'Connor.
Headed away by Hendrick.
Good chasing down Walsall again.
for Stockton. He's been a peripheral figure so far in this game. Scarf. Back to Rose.
43rd minute. Are we going to get a goal before half time? Bit of head tennis going on.
First of all, Officer Deavy will try and bring it down. Julian Baraga nicked it away from Kinsler with a
well then.
foot, but
Kinsella quite composed there like that.
in centre field.
McDonald turning. That's it.
Trying to shake off the attentions of
Oh, I lost it.
Ryan Cooney, but Cooney has won it back. Knocked in field to Songo.
Buckley, the goal scorer. All stood in the Hillary Street end, says Triple Man.
He went through to Jack Rose. They haven't been able to string very much together, Morecambe, at all, have they?
Walsall dominating.
Passes at most, and then it's broken down for them. So
Walsall dominating. Same as against Scunthorpe.
I think Morecambe are going to come flying out the blocks. But they need to win games to keep the pressure on and have a chance to get promoted. A fantastic opportunity. If anything, it's definitely Walsall that were the more positive side.
As far as playoffs, Salford have got into the top 7 now, and they were awesome against us, in fairness, weren't they? So they're definitely up for it. Salford and Bolton, I think, perhaps are my favourites for the playoffs. Salford are heading upwards, aren't they? I think we know that. Yeah, and I think as far as the teams we've seen, they've been one of the better teams, haven't they? Don Penn, he was the super striker when I first started supporting Walsall.
To get promoted, they were 3-0 down, ended up being 4 each, and then they conceded a 5th goal.
They're not looking great, are they? Morecambe, really.
I can take 9 of them so far. 2 minutes of added time. We're into the end of this first half.
Come on, Wes.
Score sheet still blank at the Baxi Stadium with Rock.
Come on then. There's time. Off the BB. It's knocked across to Perry. Perry's played long ball. It's picked out right. Oh! Miscontrolled it. Don Penn, Ian Paul. I don't remember Ian Paul. Too young, aren't you? You're 15, aren't you? You're a young lad.
20 consecutive games before he was able to get a rest. And I was saying it made such a big difference to have somebody alongside him that he could bounce.
Kenny Beach. He was Peter Hart. Brian Caswell, Kenny Mower. Oh, in trouble. Oh, you idiot. They've done nothing. Alex, Dan Scar, mistake. We've been playing really well, Alex. Walsall have dominated the first half. Morecambe have not had a sniff. Dan Scar.
I'm just saying though, yeah. But even though
Sucker punch. You ain't kidding.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. But even though Dan Scar messed up there, Rose should have got that because you see how close he was to that ball. If that was Roberts, yeah, Roberts would have full 7, fully sent it, wouldn't he? And he would have just gone in and got the ball straight away. Or at least stand back and pulled off the save.
Walsall.
Jack Rose comes in and went,
yeah,
if
but
I ain't gonna push.
Jack Rose is not really a shot stopper, is he?
No, he's just a guy who stands there to make up the numbers.
He's a good fielding keeper. He's a good fielding keeper, but he's not a shot stopper. But Dan Scar, that's not going to do his contract negotiations any good. Oh dear. We got Megan. We got Megan with us. Hi, Megan. All the play and losing, says Essington. That is so frustrating. Walsall played really well. What do you reckon the score today, Megan? Well, Megan says, rather. I fancied Walsall for a nice little 1-0, but that sucker punch from Morecambe has sort of it's a bit of a killer, really. And I suppose, as I said, there's McAlinden and Stockton are the only 2 players we've heard of from Morecambe, or 2 players I've heard of. And Stockton, the first chance he gets, he tucks it away. And that's what you get when you've got top quality strikers. I say top quality. I mean top quality for League 2, I suppose. But it's hard to take. It'd be interesting to see how Walsall respond, because Walsall have played well first half. Walsall have played very well first half. So can we sort of pull that back and get it? How many clear-cut chances have Walsall had? Not many, really, but we've had a lot of possession in front of their back 4. Let's look at the stats. Are the stats coming up? Oh, no, we have no stats. That's the stat news. Alex, yeah, it's hard to take. Mark Banks was going to say good first half. It was an excellent first half. We've dominated play. Perhaps not worked their keeper, not got the shots away enough. But we've definitely been in control. And that is disappointing. Jordan Williams is in the house. Hi, Jordan. Thanks for joining us. Unreal. Can't blame the keeper. Scar's mistake, says Essington. Yes, I think you're right there. When the keeper's exposed one-on-one like that, and Stockton, experienced striker, knows how to put it away. I think Stephen's a fan of Roberts. That's why he's sort of gone there. I agree, really. It's Scar to blame. And we've had clean sheets with Scar out of the team. So we've blamed Scar for a couple. The goal against Mansfield when he stepped up and left Andy Cook to tap home. So is Scar going to get a contract on the basis of what we've seen? I think he's likely to be on the way out. I think he's likely to be on the way out. He's been immense with his headers, and of course he's scored about 3 goals, I think, for us. But perhaps he's one of the guys that's going to fall by the wayside, I think. Walsall have been stronger with him out the team. And that tells you everything you need to know, really. What players would you bring in? Says Walsall Still Die. There's just so many players out there. It's about what players Walsall could get rather than who I'd like to bring in, I think. Jordan Williams, I'm a Man United fan. Yeah, obviously not from Manchester then. Good to have you with us, Jordan. As always, if you're new to Walsall Fan TV, press the subscribe button. We're trying to sort of pop past 350 before the end of the season. That would be nice. Steve agrees with Essington. Can't blame the keeper. We are Albion. We are Albion, says Jack Rogers. Albion, I think they're dropping back down into the Championship. Didn't do enough to stay in the Premier League. Bit of a shame, really. It's good to have Midland sides in the Premier, but Albion going to be dropping down. The thing is, when you go into the Premier League, it's a money league. You need to be spending lots of money, and to get the kind of quality you need to keep you in the Premier League. And Albion haven't been able to do that. They're not a money bags club, and hence why they've not managed to stay up. Megan, Darryl Clark did well with Port Vale since he left Walsall. Megan, to be honest, he has. I'm not sure. Darryl Clark is a good manager. It just didn't work at Walsall. I think that's all I can say about that, really. He's a good manager. Darryl Clark is a good manager. It just didn't work. It was frustrating, Darryl Clark, like constantly changing the team. Like we sort of joked at the start of this. We've won a match and we've gone to the next game with an unchanged lineup. That never happened with Darren Clark. We'd win a match and he'd change the whole team. And the craziest one of all is a player scores and he drops him for the next match, or even takes him off during the game. And Brian Dutton's followed some of that through. So that's a bit of a frustration with Darren Clark. I'm not keeping an eye on Port Vale close enough to see whether he's changing the team every week. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he is. So that's a bit of an interesting one. Alex Kilby, are we playing well? Walsall have been playing very well, very controlled. We've had, I haven't seen possession stats yet, but Walsall have had most of the possession. Not created enough chances, perhaps, not threatened their keeper enough, perhaps. But Morecambe have not had a sniff until the 2nd minute of injury time, and they've just got the goal. So that definitely was a sucker punch. Kieran Sell, how are you playing at the moment? Do you reckon you can draw? Well, we're hoping so. We're hoping so. I think Brian Dutton's days are numbered at Walsall, as far as manager is concerned, and we're hoping to end with a good couple of results for him. Sort of show he's made some progress with the team, which he has. And so we're hoping for a win for him, really. Steve's saying we've got to be looking at free agents market, perhaps pay some money for a decent striker and find a gem from non-league. Yeah, that's it for me, Steve. A big part of the budget, or a portion, a sizable portion of the budget, should be bringing in a quality striker. We've seen there Stockton. He's had one chance and he's just put the ball away. One chance, and that's what happens when you got top quality players. I say top quality players, we're talking League Two, but I mean he's an experienced striker that knows where the ball is. That's the problem, isn't it? You need that bit of quality. Making me banner. See? Yeah, that's it. Need to pay for quality up front. If Walsall can keep solid, as we've seen, we can do that generally, apart from Scar's mistake. Walsall keep solid, and then get a good quality striker who can get you a goal and job done. You get yourself up the league and get yourself promoted. That's the game. Is it a deserved lead? Please just win, Walsall. Tom Kilby. I get the feeling from Tom that he's supporting another team that's close to the playoffs, perhaps. Port Vale losing 1-0 to Grimsby. That's a result we didn't expect. I'm here, lads. Cambridge United fan. Blooming heck. That was a surprise last night, wasn't it? 5-4 defeat against Harrogate. Surprise there. Come on, Walsall, big second half, please. Al-Sadibi be a hero. Al-Sadibi's doing well. Some of the balls into the box. Oh, we just not quite got it over the line. Alex Kilby saying, score, please, I beg. Megan's saying, my mate Robbie Crisp is a Walsall fan. Can you give him a shout? Robbie Crisp. Join the journey, the joy, the pain, supporting Walsall, Walsall Fan TV. Subscribe, join us. What do you think of the Super League? Jordan, we did a video with Wolves Fan Dazzling Dave TV when we discussed the Super League options and that sort of stuff. I said at the time, it'll never happen. And for once, I was proved right. It's another example of the money taking over the game. That is the essence of it. The money sort of taking over the game. Big Americans, they're like crazy guys, love baseball. love basketball. I was looking at some basketball earlier on, and that's what the Americans love. They love lots of goals. I think if it was down to the Americans, they'd remove the goalkeepers, I think, from football, just so they had more goals. That is what I reckon. Al-Sadibi be a hero. We're all Walsall today, says Cambridge. Well, you've had your game yesterday, haven't you? So it's good that you've joined us again. And looks like you're still heading up, despite yesterday's disappointment. We'll see. But Bolton are winning at Exeter. Just looking at that now. Carlisle losing again. Mansfield winning. Yeah, Carlisle, they're on a bit of a losing run. That's our next game, Carlisle away. So maybe Walsall will have to wait for the 3 points against Carlisle. If you get 3 points today, we might sort of end the season with 3 on the bounce. That would be nice. Morecambe, I suppose hang on. According to these total shots, Morecambe have had 3 and 1 on target, and Walsall haven't had any shots. How about Tyree Wright? He stabbed one towards the keeper from 3 yards. Does that not count as a shot on target? Walsall, 70% possession. And, yeah, Gordon, he had a chance as well. He hit wide. That was another shot. I don't know who's doing the stats today. I think maybe from Morecambe, I think. Gordon wouldn't have scored that. That is the difference. Essington, you're spot on. We like Josh Gordon for his effort and his commitment, his 100% desire, and we wish him all the best, Gordon. We want him to get there, but Walsall need a striker who can finish those kind of chances, and that's what we've not got at the moment, and that's what we need. Number 1 priority in the close season is to bring in a striker who can score goals. Now, will anybody else, let me think, will any other team be looking for a player like that? Will any other team be looking for a player who can score goals? Yes, I think. So Walsall need to get one who's perhaps fell out of favour, who's had a bad run, and get him back scoring again. Walsall are not going to be able to go out and spend $250,000 on bringing a player who can guarantee them goals. So where is that 20 goals a season player going to come from? Is he going to come from non-league? Is he going to come from non-league? Or is he a player who's perhaps drifted down the leagues, perhaps? An experienced sort of 28, 29-year-old player who's sort of had a couple of bad seasons and looking to get himself going again, perhaps. That is the route for Walsall getting out of the league. Just looking at the stats again there. 70%, the same with not any shots. Well, I can think of 2 specifically, and 1 was on target. So I don't know what they're talking about. Right then, Gordon couldn't score in the brothel. He scored last week, Mr. Crane Eater. And the chance he had today was only a bit of a half chance, really. Sort of snatched it when the ball just came to him. I think the biggest problem with Josh Gordon, he doesn't get himself in the box enough. He put an excellent cross in earlier, but there's nobody in the box. He's the guy that's supposed to be in the box. Right then, I'm popping to top up my drink, and I'll be back in a minute. The recipe for getting out of this league is being well drilled. We're doing that. Look how bad Morecambe are, and they're 4th in the league. Yeah. Being well drilled defensively. Walsall, under Brian Dutton, have become much more solid defensively. And as we've sort of touched on, as we've been discussing there, solid defensively, and then getting a good quality striker who can convert a chance. Yeah. Massive overhaul in the summer won't help our chances. But I don't think it's that big an overhaul, to be honest. We have got several players out of contract, but the midfield is set. And we've got some young players coming through. But just excuse me a moment. I'm just going to get myself a drink and a pop to the loo. Right then we're back on. We're back on. Back on. That was quick. I'm just going to get me a drink.
I'm still shaking my head.
Fantastic season. Some of the players that were in that squad, Tom Bradshaw's remained solid. Plenty of others as well. Tyreek Wright has slipped over. Walsall in defensive possession here with the captain James Clark. Settlers playing towards the home serve stand in the second half, with Melbourne finding Josh Gordon. Now where's McDonald? Melbourne again. Gordon.
Right then.
Taken off him by Ryan.
Gordon's shot should have been on target. Oh. According to the stats, Walsall haven't had a shot. Well, I was just thinking as well, Tyree Wright, he had a shot from distance as well that went through quite comfortably to the keeper. But that was another shot. To say we haven't had a shot is a bit of a incorrect. I was looking on me Google thing, but that's not updated the stats yet. In fact, they still think that it's. They still think the match hasn't kicked off, I think. Oh, no, it's woke up now. We've got some stats. Oh, according to them, we've had one shot. Yeah, what we were saying half-time was Walsall are solid defensively. I think Dan Scar hasn't done himself any favours for a contract with his mistake there. And, of course, the mistake against Mansfield as well. So perhaps he might be a player we need to replace. But the route for Walsall remains solid defensively, solid midfield. And you need one striker who can get 20 goals a season, like Stockton. Stockton, one chance goal. That's what you need. Mullin, yeah. Cambridge. Solid defensive, as been said on here lots of times. To get out of this league, everybody knows their jobs. Solid defensively, and then just that little bit of quality to get a goal. And we've got Holden. Holden's coming back.
Kinsella. To Perry. Perry in towards Melbourne, but cut out and it's route to him.
Quite deflating, really, the goal stroke of half time, because Walsall had a great first half. And it says they had 3 shots, 1 on target, but I don't remember having them a shot. I don't remember them having a shot before the goal. Come on then, Walsall. Chin up.
Rectifies his error by regathering possession. McDonald switch to Melbourne to Osadibi.
Josh again playing left wing. It's that centre forward we need, isn't it? But everybody wants a centre forward who can score 20, 30 goals, don't they? That's the fact. That's the reality. So the only way Walsall are going to get to do that is blow the budget on one player, or take a chance on a player who's perhaps not quite hit the highlight reel very often. Help the Walsall and turn him into a 20, 30 goal a season player. The only player that we've had in recent times that sort of we can expect to score goals was Andy Cook, wasn't it? Andy Cook. When we bought Andy Cook, we knew he's going to score 15, 20 goals. But of course, what came with it, the attitude. Great ball here. Chance to tie it right. What can he do? Ball's in the box. Jochy, that was for you. Oh. On your head, son. Joshy gets his head in, it's over the top. Oh. Another chance again for Walsall. The ball that come across the face of the goal. Josh didn't get the timing right of his header.
Gordon had kept that down. James O'Connor would have made leather and work, because it was a decent ball in from the left-hand side.
It was great.
He was able to
There's 2 chances there for Josh. Now, Josh scored last week and he said that he'd been starved of chances. Well, that's 2 chances within a minute then. 2 chances within a minute. And he's not got it, has he? As much as we like him, Josh. Yeah, we're at it, I suppose. We're on them. We're carrying on like we were first half, with lots of possession, creating half chances. See Josh again, he's there, got 4 players around him, he's not going to do much there. Get in the box, Josh. Get in the box. Josh is here again. Get in the box. Where are you going? You're our centre forward. Where are you going to pass to? Oh. Right then. McDonald's got Max with him. Melbourne lost the ball. That's Scar. Knocked it back to Rose.
Scar finds Rose and he clears right-footed. Underneath it.
Kinsella got time there.
Kinsella regathers possession in midfield for Walsall. Right.
Passing the ball about well, Walsall, to be honest. But it's that kind of intricate passing in their half. That's what you need. No, McDonald on the left. What can you do here? 2 players on him. What's he going to do? Try and go past both. Max tries to get the cross in, but it's well blocked. Come on, who's looking for it? Tariq Wright's come for it. It's back to Perry. Perry, back to Clark. Back to Perry.
Perry again.
Nice to be fouled.
They're looking. I feel like we need less of the ball.
They're looking sharper now, aren't they? Now they're ahead.
Well, I feel like we should have less of the ball.
He's been more incisive with it, isn't he?
Yeah, because
Make it count.
we've had the ball.
But look, he's got the ball there, and look where Josh is. Josh is nowhere near the box. That can't be. The management can't be saying to him, go and chase every corner of the pitch. He's the centre forward. He needs to be in the box. But I think when it's not happening for you outside of the box, you do go looking, trying to contribute elsewhere, don't you? I suppose. Yeah, I'd say Dan. On what we've seen today, I'd say Dan Scar is definitely one that I'd let go. To be honest.
No.
I know you like him,
I'll
but
keep Dan Scar just because you need that. You need a good partnership with both centre backs and the keeper. And yes, Scar might make a couple of mistakes, but having that solid connection there, and then not need to bring in like a new centre back in.
a new centre back. Well, perhaps Tom Leake might be the man. Tom Leake obviously is. Tom Lake's not developed the trademark Dan Scar header. Yeah. Walsall again. Morecambe is sort of packing in the defence. Packing in the defence. Walsall are sort of trying to break them down. It's almost like attack v defence again, isn't it? And they're just trying to hit us on the break. Maybe that's their game plan. Who's going to be able to get through them? See Josh again. There, see where Josh is again. We've also got 4 players there within 10 yards of each other. But Josh is not in the box. You can't imagine Andy Cook. You imagine Andy Cook being that far away from the box ever?
No, because I can't get to the box.
He's just like, I'll get in the box and I'll score. That's what I do. That's what you want. Do you want somebody who's just that focused? I score goals. That's what I do. Tyreek Wright. Got 3 creative players together there, but none of them have got the ball in the box. Yeah, Tyreek Wright, Ulster DB, and Wes, and none of them could get the ball out. Over. Please, Walsall, says our Cambridge fan. Have to get rid of Gordon. I think you're right, Essington, to be honest. I do like Josh Gordon, and I love his energy. But I mean, you want.
But why is Hayden White pushing the keeper? Our right back has just got
Stephen, you've got a perfect point there.
Look, and now we're open.
Yeah, you got a perfect point there. Chasing down their keeper was Hayden White, and Josh Gordon was near the halfway line. The goalkeeper clears it, and they have a chance on the left. Where's Hayden White? Nowhere. Unfortunately, the ball breaks away and Walsall get the throw. But Southend winning again. Watch out, Scunny. Where's he going now?
Lake Norwich 2, Carlisle 1, Mansfield 2, Oldham 1, Newport leading promoted Cheltenham 1-0, 1-1 between Stevenage and Crawley. Of course, Cole Stockton's
Ulster Baby won the foul, but of course they're getting back now.
First half stoppage time.
A few early second half goals in League 2. Southend now 2-1 up. Yeah, John Boy, that's trouble for Scunny. Scunny only need a point. They've got an 8-goal better goal difference than Southend. So as long as they don't lose heavily, pretty football isn't good enough, says Essington. You got a point there. Walsall are passing it around well, but they're not creating chances with it, and that is, as you say, just pretty non-incisive football.
two of the deliveries.
Oh,
could be
Tom Bradshaw
a little bit
scored.
better. Jonesy
Tom Bradshaw scored.
Yeah, I think that's
very good.
It's always obviously because it goes out. It's okay.
Did you score for?
You're going to
Well,
go centre half, so
Who's that now? Not Cardiff,
fine.
is it?
You're going to give them a different problems to face more, but you want to make sure that the delivery is right and at least getting first contact.
Yeah.
And Millwall, that's
Obviously, the
it.
opportunity is just completely passed now.
Tommy Bradshaw scoring for Millwall.
Who's Kinsella?
Yeah, Essington, you've cut through all the chat, really, haven't you, there with that? Walsall passing the ball around well, looking good on the ball, but it's just pretty football. They're not creating any chances with it. Not creating the chances. Now, on the right-hand side, Josh Gordon, he's won the foul. Josh Gordon now is on the right. He's right on the right corner flag almost. He's supposed to be in the box. But Walsall, Tyree Wright's going to play the free kick in. It's 10 yards off or 8 yards off the corner flag. So this is ball coming. This is where we could do with an Andy Cook-like character to just come in and meet the ball. Yeah, amazing how often our ex-players are firing them in while we're struggling to score. That's spot on, mate. The thing is, though, Lee, those players who are knocking it in elsewhere have gone from, in most cases, have gone for decent money from here.
Well, not always knocking them in. Keep them out as well. Near Etheridge.
Yeah, near Etheridge, yeah. Walsall aren't in a position where they can hold on to the best players, which is a shame. But the higher we go up the tree, the more likely we're going to be held on to them. DB gets the ball in, straight through to the keeper, nobody on him. Where was Josh? Get Kevin Van Veen or Ryan Loft from Scunny. Are they good, are they? Now Chris is McCall's, John Boy, but if they're not doing it for Scunny, how much difference would they make for Walsall?
We should buy something like a phone.
Are they scored? Has Kevin Van Veen and Ryan Loft scored a lot for Scunny? So it could be like somebody. Is there somebody at Southend that was scoring goals? But I mean, they've not scored goals either, have they? But if Southend are winning, that's I don't know how Scunny are doing. Scunny playing today.
Yeah.
Who do they do today? Pringle, once you pop, you can't stop. He's coming on. Who's Scunny got today? Scunny are playing, are they?
Spell with Rotherham, 31 years of age now. He's played for Preston and Gillingham as well. I certainly haven't seen him play for
What's the score, mate? Says Norzek Perez Cubas. What's that?
0-0.
Scunthorpe 0-0 against Bradford. A result for if Scunthorpe get that draw, that puts them safe. Score, as you can see on the screen, 1-0 Morecambe. They scored in injury time at the end of the first half after Walsall had battered them. I say battered them, that's not really true, is it really? We had more possession, but didn't create enough. Get it clear? Oh.
If that went in then.
Great opportunity there for Morecambe. The Walsall playing well this half. I think Morecambe have letting Walsall have the ball more than anything else. Oh, I have a phone call. Who could this possibly be? It's for you. Hello.
On the left-hand side,
hello.
Lavery just to our left is getting ready to come on for the Saddlers very shortly.
You okay?
Ball into the area, and it's comfortably.
Yeah. Do you need to talk to Stephen?
Josh Gordon was trying to look at the pressure on the.
Oh no, he's put me back on. Yeah, okay.
In the process.
Okay.
Opportunity to
Okay, just explain what will happen next.
Find a route back into this game for the Saddlers.
Yeah.
Brings the ball down the near side. Clark is there. A near touchline for Gordon.
Could you do me a favour? I'm just on a live stream at the moment for the Walsall match. Could you give me a call back a bit later? Okay, thank you. Cheers, darling. Thanks. Bye-bye. Right then. So now then is the answer. Yeah. Tom Kilby, Walsall playing well this half? No. Walsall possession is around 70%. It is. But Josh Gordon's coming off and Lavery's coming on. Goal should be coming soon. We hope so. It was Lee Pomlett on phone offering you the Walsall job. Oh dear. We'll love it, don't we? McDonald is too negative. McDonald, he's getting on the ball. Walsall V, where your private calls and broadcasts the world. Oh dear. Stephen's going on the NCS thing because he's finished his school soon, don't you? He's finishing school soon, and that's so he's got an NCS course, which is like community-based course. So that'll be interesting. Good swap. What's a good swap? Mark Banks. I know what you mean. Oh, chance here, right. Oh, good footwork. The world being some people around Chuckery. What do you mean the world? We've got foreigners. We've got our mate John Boy. He's from Thailand, I think. So we have got around the world joy. Tyreek Wright. Oh, give the ball away again. Oh, McDonald plays it to White. Get that ball in the box. Hopefully Lavery's going to be see whether he can do more than Gordon did. He has scored more than Gordon. He's more likely to get on the score sheet. But I think both of them will be gone at the end of the season, in fairness. Come on. He's never going to get on there, is he? Oh, goal kick. Oh, dear. Disappointing. Stephen.
The goal kick to Morecambe. They are defending pretty well, aren't they, Morecambe, James?
Yeah, we said it half-time. Worst time we could have conceded, really, because Morecambe get to go in a half-time regroup. We've still got to hold on to. And
yeah, Morecambe, how many games have they won? 1-0 this season.
But it's a tough period now for Walsall because it can go one of two ways, but it's important that they keep a belief, keep moving the ball. Look, it might take until they
Hayden White lost out to their guy then.
Get their reward.
Nearly 68 minutes here. It remains 1-0 to Morecambe. Who are just James
Kinsella, what's he doing?
Commentary for iFollow listeners. How well Morecambe's been defending in this second half, keeping the Saddlers largely at.
Damn score! Give away a free kick there. You see that, Stephen? You stopped watching, haven't you? He stopped watching, Stephen, I think. In half watching. This is the joy of being 15 and multitasking, I think.
Oh, God.
Dan Scar. Are you going to admit now that Dan Scar perhaps his time's limited? Hi, Clem. Hi, mate. Chance for Morecambe. Ball's coming into the box. And it's Perry that gets the clearance. It's a draw on the card, says Kieran Sell. To be honest, Kieran, I don't think so. Oh, Colchester beating Salford. That's a bit of a turn-up. Salford hoping to make top 7. Hoping to make top 7. Salford have been doing really well of late, but losing to Colchester, that would really mess up their promotion chances, their playoff chances.
Into Songo's cross. McAlinden at the far post. Stockton couldn't quite turn. Jack Rose has just about kept it in.
Jack Rose. Oh. Time to score, Walsall. Mark Banks has answered that question. Is a draw on the cards? A big no.
Just seeing a bit deep there, Walsall. Yeah. Like I say, at that period of the game, though, it's going to go one or two ways. It is a keep belief.
Walsall needs to get it forward a bit quicker, I think. Because Morecambe are looking to sort of climb the points. They're sort of shutting up shop sort of thing. White caught in possession there. Did well to win the throw in the end. Look at this here. That could have been another goal quite easily there. Look at that. Stockton, 4 yards out, didn't score. We're lucky there. Fell on Kinsella, did well then. Who can we? Yeah, that's exactly right, Steve. We've not got that quality to come on, have we?
Yeah, that and
see, Tyreek Wright. I like Tyreek Wright, but I mean, he's not giving his all for Walsall, is he?
well, this game is giving a bit more.
He's given a bit more. And even, to be honest, he was good against Scunthorpe. But I mean, he's. Let's get Nolan. Let's see what Nolan can do. Let's Nolan show what he's made of. Look at this, too much easy play. We've got 20 minutes to play, and we need a goal.
Right.
Perry won the foul there.
Given as a free kick, referee could have waved play on there because the ball rebounded out to a Walsall player on the far side.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah, but the ref's actually given us so much. The ref's been like giving us an advantage, like so much. The ref's been on our side, and we just haven't took advantage from it.
That's a ball into the box to nobody again. They're just defending really well now, Morecambe. Kinsella, come on, it's coming to House of DB. House of DB, back into White. Come on here. Tyreek Wright, Kinsella, White. What's he going to do here now? Can he get the crossover? Throwing Walsall. Oh. It's one of those things, isn't it? Come on, Walsall, please, says Tom Kilby. He needs us to win. Yeah, it's that bit of quality, isn't it? McDonald, Melbourne, he was in the box and he ran out of the box. Crossing. Oh! Osadebe header. Oh, never going in, was it? 72 minutes gone. Walsall 1 down. Oh. Frustration. I think we've made our mind up about Dan Scar. I think he's going to be gone. We like Dan Scar a bit, but I mean, I think he's had his time.
It's time.
Oh, clock.
I don't know why, but I was
Lions
expecting
to the
like
right hand
a
side, flashes beyond Liam McAlinden
smashing it.
and away for
McAlinden, he's not really had much of a shout, has he, for them? Draw on the cards, I hope so. But it's not looking that way at the minute, in fairness.
More likely of the two teams to get a goal on the break in a minute.
Yeah, they do.
Here's Clark for Melbourne.
Who've we got up front that can make this, can do the damage for us? Lavery, not had a sniff, has he, since he's come on?
Walsall throw. Derek Adams bellowing into the fourth official's ear. It's our ball.
That's a good ball out wide. That's a beautiful ball from Perry. Come on. Come on, Torrey. Get inside, have a shot. Oh, come on, a ball. That was never outside. Oh. What, we played like kids. Shame I like him. Too many individual errors. Scar, yeah. Scar he's looked strong defensively and some good strong headers, and he's scored some goals for us. But I mean, individual errors have cost us. Warm up Munsey. Come on, the Reds for Cambridge. I think Cambridge is easy on for automatic promotion. I don't think you need to worry.
Calm Derek Adams down, and finally the Morecambe manager gets his back under control. He's still with his arms crossed as he goes back into the Morecambe dugout, but he has apologised now.
I think there's be a lot of teams that would be happy if we get a goal here, but it's not looking it at the minute, is it? Lavery's best starting, I think, because he scores most of his goals in the first 5 minutes, doesn't he?
Lavery goes down, no free kick. Songo turns it on. Melbourne up above Lions. Diagaraga sends it high in the direction of Stockton. Clark with an important defensive touch for the Saddlers, and again receiving it from Melbourne.
Oh, plenty of time for the Morecambe again.
Personal is there from Morecambe. Touched on by Hendry to McAlinden. McAlinden with the cross. Lions.
Well done, Max Melbourne then. Only quality on the pitch is Perry. Essington, you're spot on. Perry is definitely leading light today. Definitely man of the match for Walsall, I think.
We've been saying could possibly get a second and clinching goal now.
Yeah, to be fair, it's important that Walsall don't concede another, because going into the last 15 minutes, there's still got a good chance, a good defensive header there from Max Melbourne.
The thing is, Walsall got nobody to bring on to push us home, have we?
And a fullback who could be decent, decent at this level and hopefully progressing his career.
Corner for Morecambe. On your head, son. Oh, great save. Oh. Rose has saved it, but it's gone. He's got the save in and knocked the ball up, and then they've followed in for header follow on. Headed follow up the goal. So that's 2-0, so that's game over, really.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, well, thanks for watching the live stream. I'm going.
So that's a good save from Rose, then a good save from Rose, and then a good follow up. A good follow up for Morecambe. So that's solid away win for them.
Pringle with the corner, Lavelle, the Morecambe centre half and captain, with the initial header that was parried by Jack Rose.
Yeah, Songo.
Virtually on the goal line to apply the finishing touch with his head.
That was actually quite a good save. That was actually quite a good save from Rose.
It's a clincher, Jay, isn't it? Yeah, I was just about to say, Young Songo has been massive in the
that's game over. Game over. Tom Kilby was hoping we were going to get level, but a couple of chances Walsall have had, not enough. I think last 78 minutes gone now. So last 12 minutes plus injury time, I'd bring on Willis. Willis and Leake, perhaps.
Attack Diagaraga. Stockton, the scorer of the first goal.
Perry, very good there.
It's going to be a Morecambe throw. By far the more clinical team, Morecambe, and that's essentially been the key to it. We keep saying that
More clinical, you're not kidding.
the ball around quite nicely at the time, but
Walsall have knocked the ball around well, Bros. As Essington Canal enthusiast mentioned earlier, pretty football. Walsall have knocked the ball around really well, really knocked the ball around really well, but not created enough. And Morecambe have just soaked up the pressure, hit us on the break, and just had 2 clinical finishes. And that's the way to win. That's the way to win. You got to take your chances.
With the throw, can the Saddlers at least get on the score sheet between now and
Walsall again, score sheet against it. That says it all. Thanks, Mark. Need to come up with a good chant for Perry, something to do with pear cider, made from 100% pears, perhaps. Super Perry. Perry is he's got a lot of credit out of this, to be honest. A couple of the balls he's played, Perry, sort of cross-field balls to Torrey right. Very, very good.
Send it back to Jack Rose.
Definitely not put him under enough pressure. I'm glad we didn't need this one to stay up. But Walsall have played, I think Essington's right when he says pretty football. But I mean, Walsall have passed the ball around quite nicely. It's just we've not created enough with it. So that's a good ball in from White. But the guy who'd passed him the ball before he crossed it was Josh Gordon, who needs to be in the box. Needs to come up with a good chance for Perry, yeah. 72% possession, Walsall.
On goal, and that wasn't on target.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's a perfect illustration of what would be.
That's not true, is it?
Yeah, well, it's been obvious for anyone who's watched the game today where the problem lies. Like I said, it was encouraging sides.
Walsall need a good quality striker and need to create more clinical chances. So I think Dan Scarr, I think, will be on his way. Can Tom Leake? Is Tom Leake ready for regular first team football at centre half? I don't think he is, to be honest.
Here comes Hayden White for Walsall, not for long. Linden defending well this time. Tyreek Wright sending in crossfield pass into the Morecambe area, but not able anybody in a red shirt to bring it under control. And Liam Kinsella being withdrawn. Alfie Bates is
coming on to get some minutes. Give Joe Willis a bit of a run as well.
20 on Monday, Alfie Bates.
Alfie Bates, 20 on Monday, still a young lad. He can pick out a pass sometimes, Alfie Bates.
Before the game and during the first half, James, with the post-pandemic, certainly in the first few months, maybe season or so after. Football with fans, a lot of clubs at this level, and are going to be
72% possession, but nothing to show for it. I think Leake is the man we need. I don't think we should get carried away with Leake. I think he's done quite well as centre half, and he's played right back more than centre half, hasn't he? I think he's done okay, but I don't think he's ready to play centre half week in, week out at all. So I think we need a good Matt Preston kind of Matt Preston, no nonsense kind of centre half. Matt Preston, obviously a bit old there, but I mean, that kind of player. At least you were safe, says Dazzling Dave. Hiya, Dave, or Milt, as I know him. Yeah, Walsall have played well today, but I mean, as Essington said, it's been pretty football, really. We've passed the ball about really well without really creating enough. Tyrant right, ball into the box. Oh, too easy for them. At least we're safe, yeah. The fact of the matter is, though, Walsall, we're not interested in, well, we are interested in being safe, but I mean, we wanted to be up the other end, really. I don't know whether you've seen on my Instagram and a little bit on my Twitter that just put that on there if you've not clicked onto that already. Me and Dazzling Dave were filming early in the week. We were on the set for the BBC. That was an interesting day, getting a glimpse of the world of filming and all that business. The Stafford Lancers, me and Dave and his wife Emma, started back in '95, still going. And yes, we got called in to be an American-style band for the BBC. That was a good day. Right then, Chance Osadebe. What can you do here? There's a lot of Morecambe bodies and not a lot of Walsall bodies in there. Tyrant Wright's ball-ins comfortably dealt with Morecambe. They're solid defensively. Not getting through enough. If you're new to the channel, press the subscribe button. Get us up to 350 before the end of the season. That's what we're aiming for.
Looking for Lavery this time. For Walsall. Melbourne.
Corner ball. Corner ball. A good day indeed. Yeah, it was. Good to see you as well. I haven't seen much of Dazzling Dave for with the lockdown and all that sort of stuff. Oh, we have got to 350. Yay! That's good. Oh, come on then, Alfie Bates. Gotta get that ball in the box again, haven't we? Get Josh Lavery actually in the box now. But get in the box, Lavery, on your head, son. Oh, come on, still with Walsall. Ball in the box again, on your head. Oh.
More comfortably by Morecambe this time and drops for Pringle in midfield. Turn finds.
Come on, Walsall. Tyrant Wright. Wes on the right. He's coming in. What's he going to do? Another corner, Walsall. Come on, Walsall. Let's get a goal. We're happy to get a goal even, aren't we? At the minute. Morecambe have done well, in fairness.
Very rarely have they let their fullbacks get into 1v1 situations.
Corners in. Oh, headed clear. He's played that down the line. Rose is out to collect it.
But he managed to just skip out the way. And Perry finds White.
Injection of pace. Oh, he's done a Clark on us to win the foul.
Was guilty of the foul there. To the nose of the assistant referee opposite.
Trying to get there. So yeah, 350 followers. So that's really appreciate that. That's good. Thanks for the guys that have followed us and the girls, of course. If you haven't subscribed, join the journey, the joy and the pain. Today, it's been relatively joy apart from the 2 goals, to be honest. Looks like Brian Dutton's final home game then. Yeah, I think if, as Paul says there, I think if the jury was still out on Brian Dutton, this 2-0 defeat's not going to help him. I think the reality is he's done a reasonable job for us, but not good enough to tell us that he's the man for next season. Walsall will be bringing through young players and developing young players. That's the Walsall way. The challenge is keeping the better players and getting proper money for them. That's the key. And the fact of the matter is, get into League One and you'll get better money for them. And that's going to help the overall balance of the finances. So if we're looking at the people for renewals, Hayden White, would you renew his contract? It's a good pass through to Wright. Lavery. Oh dear. So Hayden White, would you keep Hayden White? I'd say no. I think there's better right backs out there. Would you keep Dan Scarr? I'd say no. Would you keep James Clark? I would say yes, if he stays and doesn't go to Port Vale. Melbourne, would you keep Melbourne? I think there's better left backs available, to be honest. Midfield is set. Where's the thing? We need to understand why he hasn't played. That is what it's all about. Why isn't he not played? I don't think we can just ask a straight question there. Why has he not played for the last 2 months, 3 months? Tyrant Wright, he's not going to stay. He's a Villa boy. Gordon and Lavery, I think they're both gone, to be honest. I think they'll both be gone, and we'll have a new crop of wannabe strikers coming through. But if Josh and Lavery both go, we're looking for bringing at least. Well, we're looking for bringing in 4 strikers. 4 strikers, a couple of target men, and a couple of pacey, nippy finishers. That's what we'll be looking for. So let's see whether we can get those in. So that's quite a lot of changes. Plenty of people going. I think Nolan's got another year on his contract. But I mean, here we are, 5 minutes into injury time. Nolan's still not got on the pitch, so something's gone on with him. Walsall not looking at all like they're going to win today, despite the pretty football, as Canal enthusiast mentioned. It's a good ball into the box. Oh, Hayden White, come on. Has he got it? I thought the ball had gone out of play then. Just on the edge of the box. Al-Sadibi, have a shot. Have a shot. Have a shot. Oh. Bates has tried to block the one pass. He's passed it to their guy. Bates definitely gone back this season after a very promising breakthrough. 2 minutes into the 5 minutes of injury time, I think we're about done, really.
Changes with Songo coming off, having played a fulsome part in there.
Yeah, the second goal. That was the time to shoot, wasn't it?
Time still remaining here. It remains 2-0 to Morecambe, who are just running down the clock by making a couple of changes.
Norzek Perez Cubas is looking for at least one Walsall goal. You're not going to get it, I don't think. Morecambe have absorbed a lot of pressure. And a couple of professional clinical goals. I don't think there's any more quality in their team. If we don't get a decent striker, we may as well forget next season too, says Essendon. Well, that's it really. Getting some quality strikers. We're not going to be able to buy a quality striker. We're going to have to grab somebody who can who can transform into a top striker, like Elijah Adebayo, of course. He was a bit of an horse, bit of a going nowhere really, and Walsall have turned him into a good striker who was giving us some benefit before Luton took him on board. Would Walsall have won this if we got Adebayo playing? Probably. I don't know. Wes isn't good enough. Well, we've got to remember Wes. He has given us some highlights, which you'll see in the highlight reel for goals of the season. He's in there. But the fact of the matter is, when Walsall signed Wes McDonald, he was without a club. So, like, he was one at the end of his career. He was one at a point where he was not going to have a career in football, and Walsall sort of pulled him back. Walsall pulled him back into the Football League, effectively. Better be scouring the free contract expiring lists for a striker too. Yeah, Wes McDonald has improved definitely for Walsall, but as I said, we need to understand why he's not played for 2.5, 3 months. Because you say he's out of form. That's rubbish. Walsall was struggling, not creating any chances, and you've got Wes McDonald, arguably our most creative player, who took 3 or 4 players on him every time he gets the ball, and he wasn't playing. So, particularly when Rory Holden was out injured, and he still didn't play. And that's it. Maybe we can get one that way that we couldn't normally afford. Yeah. That's what we're hoping for. That we can sort of. That's hopefully we can sort of drop on somebody that's going to do the business for us next season. Hayden White, he's sort of as the end of the game, he's sitting down on the floor. For me, I don't think he's one that we're going to take forward for next season. Nor Dan Scar, Lavery and Gordon again. And Wes, I can't think that many people are going to be calling for Wes, to be honest. He may get off from somewhere else in League 2. But we need that little tiny bit more quality. Can we get it? That's the thing. Right then, I'm going to be putting out the match reaction with my man of the match. That's going to be coming up very soon. So thanks for joining the stream. If you haven't already subscribed, press that little subscribe and bell and all that. And then you catch all our updates. Thanks for watching. Walsall Fan TV. Cheers, guys.